You're now listening to the Festival of Football, presented by Billy Harvey and Henry Barrett.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another podcast, episode 3 of Festival of Football with Billy and Henry. Today, we're going to be talking about 3 topics. The first one's going to be the weekend league games, reviewing everything that happened over the weekend. Obviously, we have to talk about the Man United fans' protest. And then also, we're going to be doing a special little episode for the episode Tottenham West Ham combined 11 from the season. So I think it'd be a pretty interesting podcast. What do you think, Bill?
Yeah, especially looking forward to the last part when we see the Tottenham 11 as the combined Tottenham and West Ham 11.
I mean, we all know it's going to be mainly West Ham players in there. So anyway, did you watch weekend games, Bill?
I did, yeah. So we'll start with the Spurs game. Obviously, as I mentioned on the last pod, I'm quite pessimistic, and I went for a 2-1 win with Sheffield United scoring first, which was completely wrong. I mean, I couldn't have been more wrong. Gareth Bale smashed in a hat-trick and Son scored a wonder goal. So, I mean, I completely proved wrong in that prediction, which is completely fine by me, because I said, as you said it would be 3-0. You wasn't too far wrong on that.
What can I say? I know my football, mate. No, but seriously, Tottenham looked good. They didn't really have to get out of gear, like, second gear. They had the game won. I think Sheffield United just that Ryan Brewster, he hasn't got it, mate. He was letting them down yesterday a lot. You saw when they brought on the guy that we were talking about last time. We didn't know his name, but what's his name? Burke? Is it Burke?
Ollie Burke.
When they brought him on, they got into the game a little bit, but Tottenham just had too much on the day. And Harry Kane had an off day. So that was quite interesting. But yeah, I think Bale just showed his class at the end of the day. I mean, his hat-trick goal, top bins, amazing. Son again on his day, he's just brilliant. So as much as I don't like him, he gives me this weird vibe. I don't like him. He's banging in that goal. I mean, I loved it when he scored and he was offside. It was pretty funny, but is what it is. There's not much really to say about it. Tottenham just did what they had to do at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, we dominated the game. Sheffield United made Serge Aurier look like a prime Cafu, which was nice to see, given though he's been, he's not our best player and we do need a right back. I hope that display doesn't, show Daniel Lev that we don't actually need a right back when we do. It's Sheffield United. It's not a big game. They're already down. So yeah, please.
Well, I saw Bale's comments at the end of the game talking about, they asked him about, Serge Aurier got you 2 assists or 3 assists or whatever it was. I can't remember what he got. And then Bale was like, yeah, he has to shut up going on about it over there. It's like, that was quite funny. But did you see that he also had a pop at Mourinho in the interview at the end? Saying that now we can go forward and attack and stuff. It was like, okay, pretty cool.
Yeah, and he's not wrong, is he? Let's face it. We spoke about what Mourinho did to Joe Cole on the last pod as well, and to some extent, that's probably why Gareth Bale wasn't in the team this season, because he's more forward-thinking than he is defensively, and we can see what he offers going forward, scoring a hat-trick in the last game. He's, come up with big goals in other games too, and we've seen through his career, he's not defensive-minded. Look at the stuff he did at Real Madrid. I mean, you don't win 4 Champions Leagues, and not be a good player.
I just remember that goal he scored against Barcelona in the Spanish Cup, when he knocked it down the line, run off the pitch, run round in a diagonal, beat the defender in a race, and then went on to score. And even like Cristiano Ronaldo's on the bench going crazy. Yeah, I think he's top quality. Do I think he's the Bale that he was years ago? No, but he's not going to stay, is he, at Tottenham? But I don't know. I just got a feeling he'll probably go somewhere like Man United after, when his contract ends or something.
Yeah, he'll go to a big club, a bigger club than Tottenham, and I think he does deserve it. Like, given what he's won in his career, I think there's obviously a personal issue between him and Zidane as to why he doesn't get in that Real Madrid team. He's clearly, a step above what they've got as well. I think if they had Bale and Benzema, they'd get to the Champions League final.
Mate, this is it. I mean, Zidane's Zidane at the end of the day, and he's a Real Madrid legend. So I think what don't help Bale is that he hasn't tried to learn the language, and in Spain that's a big thing, isn't it? If you don't learn the language, the fans don't take to very well. But yeah, ultimately Tottenham, good win. Europe probably secured for Tottenham, I think.
Yeah, Europa League most likely, or this new Conference League that we spoke about on the last pod too. We'll either get one of those. And I read this morning somewhere that they're thinking of giving Ryan Mason the job full time, and I sort of sat back in my seat and was like, "Oh no, what are we doing? What are we doing? We can't do that." Like, I know there's not much options out there, but there's better options than that, as we've spoken about.
I've heard. Who was it that I heard? I can't think of the guy's name now. It's really bugging me. Give me a minute. Let me think.
Not the Ajax manager.
No, I can't think who it was. It was an English league manager.
Oh God, that says it all.
No, he's not English. I mean, he's from the Premier League, I think. Anyway, it don't matter. It's gone. If I remember it, I'll say it, but it's gone. But yeah, no, I've heard about Nuno's been offered by that super agent.
George Mendes.
Yeah, but it is what it is, isn't it? See that Fabio Silva scored again?
He did. Yeah, he did. And we
fluky.
Yeah, we picked him up on in one of the episodes that we've done recently, and I'm
telling you, he's gonna be world class. World class gets thrown around a lot. You know, when I said the other day, you know, amazing players get thrown around a lot. What I meant was world class. When they say players are world class, that gets thrown around so easily nowadays, and I think he will be world class. It's going to take a few years. I just hope he don't leave the Premier League. I hope he stays in the Premier League. I think he's a Man United striker. There and then, like just looking at him, I can see him in a Man United shirt. But if he uses that potential and becomes what I think he can become, then yeah, it's just you hear about it all the time, and players never, get to that potential in the end. So it's just waiting to see what happens. What other games were interesting before I get onto the West Ham game? Do you watch the Arsenal game? See anything of the Arsenal game?
No, I don't really watch their games, if I'm honest. I don't even know.
To be honest with you, I only watch the Arsenal games to watch the Arsenal fan TV live stream. That's the only reason why I watch it, because it's just pure gold, mate. It's entertainment gold. Like when you're sitting there watching Ty every single episode getting pissed off at the referees, and every time there's a foul on Arsenal players, where's the yellow card? Where's the yellow card? And then when he does it the other way, he don't say nothing. And then you even have that main guy, Robbie, going, so what are you saying now? Why are you not saying the same thing? It's funny. It's just funny, mate. It's just pure gold. Like, it is what it is. No, but Arsenal look good, to be fair. They did what they had to do. I just hope they continue it when they play Chelsea. Not this weekend, next weekend. Because you see Chelsea got City next week, and after West Ham's game yesterday, if they lose and we beat Everton, we're on the same amount of points. So if they drop any points against Leicester and Arsenal, and we win our last 4 games, and Chelsea drop points against City, Arsenal, or Leicester, we get top 4. So
they will drop points. I think Man City will beat them in the league because don't they need another win to secure the Premier League title? Or if Man United...
they do. No, because Man United didn't play. If they beat Chelsea, they win the league basically. I think a point might even do it. I'm not sure, but definitely a win against Chelsea gives them the title. The thing is, Chelsea have got Real Madrid on Wednesday, and then they play City, then they play Arsenal, then they play Leicester in the FA Cup, and then they play Leicester in the league. So it's not like a foregone conclusion kind of thing. They've got big games in between, so they're going to have to rest players. I was talking to a mate that's a Chelsea fan who listens to the podcast, and he was like, as soon as the West Ham game's over, I was texting him just saying like, "Oh, you're going to get worried now. You're getting worried now." He give it all the big and that he's not worried, but he knows he is. So you're listening, Matt. You're worried, but anyway, just wanted to say that, to put that in there. But let's get into the West Ham game, mate. Honestly, I don't know. I wasn't as nervous as this going into this game as normal. Maybe because I just know I felt like top four was gone, so I wasn't really anxious or worried in any way. The game started, and when I saw the team, I thought, "Where's Ogbonna? Lanzini's in midfield. No, what's going on?" Ben and the lineup, the way it was lined up, Ben Rama was playing left wing back, and I was like, "What the hell is wrong with his team?" And then when it obviously started, he only played four at the back, and then it was attacking, and Lanzini in the middle, mate, was the best thing ever because even though he's on the edge of his own box, he took the ball down, he just like nudged it past a couple of people. He was just calm. Can he do that against Everton on the weekend? I don't know, but doing it against Burnley, even though they're a physical team, maybe that's even more impressive. And he honestly, Lanzini took back the years yesterday in that performance. He was amazing. Obviously, we went 1-0 down. Chris Wood penalty. Once again, I'm going to have to say it. I've been saying this for months. It was Diop. Diop's fault again. He's a weak link at the back. He years ago he had all the potential and he was an amazing player. The thing with Diop is he tries to read the game and he makes these decisions and he commits to them. But the problem is 9 times out of 10 they don't work. Like in the second half and the end of the first half, he was winning good headers and he was getting the ball away in dangerous areas, fair play. But before that, he like I've seen him in games this season rushing in, trying to get the ball, but then they just spin him, they just turn him, and he leaves the defence unoccupied. That's why Dawson's not been playing as good as he was. Because with Ogbonna, he didn't have to worry about Diop. But with Diop, he has to worry and cover Diop's position, which made him score own goals. Because he was too worried about Diop and what Diop's going to do. He ain't worried about his own game. But with Ogbonna, it's like, you know what? I got the Don next to me. I can just chill. I can focus on my game, and that's what brought the best out of Dawson. But yeah, you look at Diop yesterday, and how he let the ball go over him. Chris Wood's in behind him. Chris Wood's slow as hell, but you let Chris Wood get in behind you, and then you slide to the floor. Like Thierry Henry even said it. Diop, why are you going to the floor? And then in I think it was in the first half, just afterwards, he did the same thing again. Let Vidra go in behind him, and then Vidra did the little chip over Fabianski, and they nearly scored. Honestly, Diop is dog shit. He's dog shit. He isn't any good anymore. I wish we sold him to Tottenham for 30, 40 million when they wanted to buy him a few years ago. He's just not good enough. He's not good enough. He's poor. But talking about someone that is good, Ben Rama, mate. Honestly, you see that yesterday. He was better before he had these break for fasting and stuff. It was like as soon as he took on the fluids and stuff, it kind of drained him a little bit because he stopped doing all the good stuff. But no, honestly, all jokes aside, he's brilliant, mate. He's the player in our team that has the potential to go world class. Probably not at West Ham, but he's got all the skills. He does everything in his own way, and the pass for Antonio, that just shows you the ball that he gave to Antonio to score the second goal. It's just amazing, mate. And then again, Antonio, I didn't even know that he was playing yesterday. I thought he was out for the season, but he comes back in, scores 2 goals. Should have got the 3rd goal, but then he played the ball onto his own foot and stuff. I mean, we deserved the game in the end. We deserved the win. We played excellent. Our only problem was in the final third, we did the wrong thing. We made the wrong pass or took too many shots when we should have passed it instead, or didn't shoot and tried to pass it instead. And against a better team, we would have probably been, punished for it. But to be honest with you, yesterday we played good. And that's what I'm saying. If we had Antonio against Chelsea, we would have been playing like that. And Chelsea wouldn't have, I don't think, would have been able to cope. I think we would have at least got a point out of that game. And it just shows you when you've got your best players in the team, it's what changes it. For me, I mean, Antonio was a bigger loss than Rice because he's so important to what we do. That's why,
and I think you've
I
seen
think
that in the last few weeks as well, with him coming in yesterday. I said on the last pod, didn't I, that Chris Wood would score and it'd be 1-0, and I saw that Chris Wood scored, and I was like, oh, I might get this one right for a change. And then obviously quite quickly after, Antonio had scored and then scored again, so completely changed the game. And he offers you something that you don't have, and I know you don't have an out-and-out striker, but he's good enough to play as a centre forward. I know he's predominantly a winger, and he's got pace, but he's strong. He can hold the ball up. He's got decent finishing. I mean, he's probably the most overlooked striker in the Premier League right now, because there was talk of him playing for Jamaica, and you think he could be on the plane. Like people,
he's already gone Jamaica, mate. He's already claimed like Jamaica now,
and that comes down.
It's a loss to England.
Yeah, it is a loss. It comes down to being overlooked, and I think good luck to Jamaica. They've got a great striker, and they're building up their team for the next World Cup. And I think he will be a key player for them too. And he could have, to be fair, he wouldn't be a key player for England, but he could have been an option off the bench.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like the thing with Antonio, he doesn't know what he's going to do half the time. So how can a defender know what he's going to do? And that's what the freaking difference is. But it just goes back to England picking players with names. Mm-hmm. They're going to pick Calvert-Lewin because he looks more juicier than picking Antonio. You look, Calvert-Lewin's not done anything for the past, I don't know how many months. Now I've said that, he'll score a hat-trick against West Ham on the weekend. But you know what it is. The thing with me with West Ham is they can play like they did yesterday. But then when we play Everton, I'm worried that he's going to go back into that defensive-minded shape, and I don't know, mate. Because it's West Ham, like you look at it on paper, you would say, you know what, the games that Chelsea's got, the games that West Ham's got, top four's a cert for West Ham. Mm-hmm. They were near enough saying that on Monday Night Football yesterday. They weren't going to come out and say it because it's only West Ham, but they were near enough saying it on there, like, West Ham got winnable games, Chelsea, it's going to be tough, But because it's West Ham, we could lose to West Brom, we could lose to Southampton. So it's never cert. I mean, I'm about 90% sure that we'll get Europe now. But because it's West Ham again, I can't say, 100% Europe. Because realistically, Everton's the only game that we should drop any points in, if you look at the thing. But then again, Brighton's our bogey team, so it could be that. But no, I'm happy, mate. I'm really happy.
No, I think you'll definitely get some form of Europe this season. Whether that's the new Europa Conference League that we spoke about before, or it's the Europa League itself. The thing is, by the time you play teams like Brighton, they could be safe and nothing to play for.
Yeah, but Brighton's always a bogey team for us. I don't think we've beat them since they come into the Prem. That's how bad it is.
Well, yeah, like they say, it's the first time for everything.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about it the other day. I was thinking if we finish fourth in the Champions League, in the Premier League, and get Champions League football, it's going to be hard because we have to qualify for the Champions League next season.
Yep.
And because we've never been in it, we ain't going to have one of them good ratings. So we're going to be an unseeded team, and we're probably going to get a seeded team. So we're looking like we might end up getting Ajax or like a really good Spanish team or something to qualify. Then we're fucked, literally. So, I mean, it is what it is. But let's hopefully we get there first and
deal with the draw when it comes.
Exactly. Because even then, even if we went out, at least we were still technically in it, And
well, if you don't get to the group stage, it doesn't count, really, does
it?
But
if we lost that qualifier, we go into the Europa League, don't we?
You do, yeah.
Yeah, so safe, man. Top 6 privileges, Hey. It is what it is, mate. It's what it is. Anything else you want to add on the weekend games?
No.
What did you think of the West Ham game?
I thought they did really well, to be honest. I saw flashes. I was watching the highlights on my phone. And like I said, when I saw Chris Wood score, I thought, I'm getting this one right. But Yeah, I think you did what you had to do in that game. Like you said, I saw Diop's mistakes and I thought he could actually end up costing you here. But I think he was fortunate last night. I know he gave away the penalty and whatever else, but he was fortunate it didn't cost you points. So it didn't cost you 2 points or 3 points.
Yeah, well, this is it. I mean, the annoying thing here for me is Bonner's out again, and there was no news about this. Noble's out. There was no news about this. So obviously, maybe it's because that social media blackout, no one really knew about anything. But I'm hoping, because I heard that Declan Rice might have been back for last night, so I'm hoping that he just saved him for Everton. So I'm hoping that Rice is back for Everton. I hope I don't know what Bonner's done, but I just hope it's not long term again. I hope Bonner's back because you look at yesterday, Cresswell was back again, and then balls. Safau as well, man. It's like they can just cross it on the wings, and it's just superb. I think when they bought Safau, I thought, oh, this is going to be one of these average players. And when he made his debut, he looked alright, but he looked a bit suspect in defending. But mate, I think he's got to be signing of the season, even more so than Lingard, and that's in the whole Premier League.
That's a tough one. Yeah, I think like you said, on his debut, he just looked like another average player that you've signed, and now he's probably one of the most valuable players in your team. And I think he's up there with one of the top right backs in the league. He's probably not on Cancelo's level or Kyle Walker's level, or
of course not. No, different players, mate. You know what I mean? They've got pace for days, and that's what gets them out of trouble, pace.
Mm-hmm.
But he's I don't know, mate. He's just brilliant for me, anyway. And I mean, we bought him for like 5 million. If we would, obviously, I don't want to sell him, but if we were to sell him now, we're at least going to get 20, 25 mil for him. So that's like a 20 million profit. You know what I mean? And for a club like West Ham, if we ain't going to get Europe, we're always going to be known as that sort of club because, yeah, we're in London and everything, but there's bigger London clubs. It's like look at Newcastle. They're the biggest club in their area, and if they were, that's what gets them some max amounts and stuff because they're the biggest club in their area. People say, "Oh, West Ham's in London. It's attractive." Yeah, but it's not as attractive as Tottenham. It's not as attractive as Arsenal or Chelsea. If we got into Europe on a more regular basis, that will change. Do you know what I mean? Especially as much as you say some people say they don't like the stadium and whatever else. I've been there a few times. I don't think it's that bad. It's not good for, if you compare it to Upton Park, like you want to go get a pie or something. You can't. It's impossible. The queues are horrendous. The way it's laid out is horrendous. You want to get a beer, you can't because it's like whatever. So you have to get like a lukewarm one that's left on the side that you've ordered before the half time. It's just horrendous, man. But I don't think it's that bad watching it in the stadium. But players will like the stadium. They will really like it. But it's all that. It's always that thing. We're always known as the fourth best London team, and I'm big enough and ugly enough to admit that. So it is what it is. But if we carry on doing what we're doing this year, and I can't believe I'm going to say it, but letting Moyes build, because when he came in, I didn't want him. Yeah. But he's changed my opinion completely. And for me, when he was at Everton, he only had one bad season when they nearly got relegated. Otherwise, they was always in and up and around there. And I'm hoping he does the same. And we'll have to wait and see.
To the Festival of Football podcast, presented by Henry Berrett and Billy Harvey. We'll see you on the next one.